all throughout. This is a way of planting. Well, it serves many purposes, for one thing, but we plant food on here. We plant trees, we plant hedge crops, we plant permaculture crops all along these, along the top of them and along the sides to produce sort of a hedge. There's several fruit trees, there's berry trees, nut trees. This is basically our food forest. We have ground level orchards that are flat, but one advantage that these mounds have over flat ground is they hold water 5 times more efficiently than flat ground does. For our irrigation, when it's not raining, and like during the hot seasons of last year when the temperature was 109 degrees and it was really excruciatingly hot, flat ground farming allows the water to be lost through evaporation. This kind of mound farming, setting up like this, we only run one irrigation line over the top of each of these hugel mounds. And what the form does is it allows the water to displace laterally to basically fill up the mound, and it sinks into the core. At the core of each of these mounds is wood. So slash timber. So where people have done logging or whatever and there's a lot of slash timber left over, you start your mounds by laying out a row of that slash timber, and then you add your compost and your manure and your soil and your varying layers of biomass on top of that slash timber. And what happens is the water, you only need one irrigation line, and the water from that one irrigation line, as it spreads out conically, like this, laterally, and then it sinks into the core, that wood holds on to the water. And then it basically becomes like a water battery. It's kind of like a battery for water. And even when it's really hot outside, all that really does is draw the water from the core back up to the surface. So even in dry times, you've got a reservoir of water in the core of all of your planting mounds. One other thing that I really like about having these mounds around the perimeter is the sound of turkeys gobbling in the background. That doesn't have anything to do with the mounds, but they're being really vocal and it's awesome. Anyway, one thing about having the hugel mounds around the perimeter is on this side, on the inside of each of the hugel mounds, we have trenches. So we've dug trenches, and the dirt that was excavated out of those trenches goes into the mound. But one purpose of the trenches is it allows this whole landmass, the property line that we're on, it also allows this territory to hold moisture. The whole farm itself becomes one sponge. So the water doesn't just escape, it stays on the farm. And at the most, it'll pool in the trenches around the perimeter. So we keep the water, all the water we can keep here. These mounds conserve water within themselves. They also help conserve water within the farm so we don't lose water to run off in evaporation. Another beautiful thing about these mounds around the perimeters is it provides a screen so that you can't be seen from the outside. So, you can protect your privacy and your sanctuary. You can protect your sanctuary inside. And it's also defensive. If things go really bad and you need security for your farm, in the event that you ever need to be able to secure your farm for any reason, it also provides a barrier in the event of social breakdown, which happens, and we like to be prepared for those things. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. I, of course, learned about hugel mounds and hugel farming from Ayub, so I am not the pro here, but I've learned so much by living and working here on tending these mounds, that it's now my favorite way to farm.